Hey, hey, welcome back. All right, so Ophiuchus, let's get into this, shall we? Um, we need to take a look at, we're just going to say the topic of love right now for Ophiuchus. We will do a more specific, like who's thinking about Ophiuchus probably on Sunday, okay? We've got Six of Cups. Ooh, we've got soulmate energy. Um, this could be platonic love. This could be that Ophiuchus is realizing that someone in their environment, I feel like somebody that they could be, I mean, heck, this could be somebody in the neighborhood and it's like, hey, let's get together in the spring and we'll do a couple of like you know, neighborhood garage sales. It could be somebody in the local HOA or something. It doesn't have to be like somebody that Ophiuchus works with. There may not be work involved, but let's just say it's somebody in the sphere of Ophiuchus's world that they might start to develop like a connection to. Hey, hey, AC, great to see you, love. Um, we got the High Priestess, we got the Four of Swords, and we've got the Five of Pentacles. This is starting to feel like either Ophiuchus is becoming aware of somebody in a way that they hadn't before. Like, let's say sometimes we don't realize that somebody is attractive to us at first. You know, they're maybe we recognize them, they stand out to us a little bit, but we haven't applied the idea that they could be of greater importance in our life. And then circumstances shift, things change. Now it actually looks like both Ophiuchus and this person could have gone through or are even going through some fairly difficult moments. They might both have kind of like withdrawn for a period of time, money issues, health issues, you know, just things get in the way. So, in kind of like a friendly group setting where two people maybe cared about each other, liked each other, you know, just as like fellow humans, some time seems to have passed or they haven't seen each other, but I think they've been thinking about each other. And also, sometimes people bond when they realize, like, you know, sometimes people are reluctant to like share their woes and their troubles because it's like, yeah, I've been going through something, but I definitely don't want to tell anybody else that. And then that alone will make somebody else go, huh, well, I may as well tell you what I've been going through. Like, you know, I lost a job, I got evicted, I got, you know, like when we realize that we're going through similar experiences that are difficult for us, sometimes that's where we really feel comfortable with somebody because it's like, oh my God, I'm not feeling like I'm going to be judged or be pitied. I'm just kind of like going through some of my own trials and tribulations. That feels good to know I'm not the only person. So now I don't feel like uncomfortable, like actually sharing some of what I've been dealing with. Like there's a strong bond that can occur between people when it turns out like, oh, so you know what it's like. Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry you went through that. Yeah, we got a page of swords. I think these two are going to be reconnecting or re-meeting each other because this is returning soulmates. So somebody is definitely coming back into Ophiuchus's life, and I believe Ophiuchus and this person have a lot to share with each other about what they've been through, about where their life has been, about what kind of experiences they've each had. And they have been trials and tribulations and difficulties, but it's actually going to bring these two possibly a heck of a lot closer. This could have been a situation where there was a teeny tiny, like, you know, I've met this person, I think they're nice. I certainly know their face, and then I haven't been around and they haven't been around in a while, and now we re-meet each other and we kind of unexpectedly start to bond and get caught up, and then we realize, huh, maybe there's a little something else here. It definitely feels like a person has gone through some problems of his own, and so too has a Fucus. His, hers, I don't know who is who in this. Two of Pentacles. These two are a great match. These two have had to face different but similar trials. One decidedly has something to do with like difficulty either having a flow of money or difficulty like having a place to live. The other could have had an illness or something, which that can also, you know, create that exact same scenario. Yeah, I didn't know where I was going to live either. I was sick, you know. I ended up having to move in with family for a period of time, you know, because I couldn't work. But anyway, things are recalibrating. This really feels like life is getting back on track after Ophiuchus went through something tough, but so too did this person. And not like we ever wish ill on anybody, but it's such a relief to know that we weren't the only ones who maybe it felt like life was put on pause for a hot minute. This is going to be a really strong bonding moment for these two. And I kind of think that they're realizing maybe we're connecting at just the right time. Maybe we're meeting each other or re-meeting each other at just the right time. Let's go back and ask, have these two known each other from like 50 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago? Or are these two that, like I said, kind of vaguely knew each other in the neighborhood? Six of Swords, and we have adolescents here and children here. So this could actually be somebody from a long time ago in Ophiuchus's past. This could be Ophiuchus and this person have like a lifetime of stories to share with each other about where they've been, what they've been through, what their lives have been made up of. They could have, this almost feels like, we were friends as kids, and then, one or the other had a crush on each other back in like middle school, and then somebody moved away and it was really sad. And they haven't like reconnected in 40 years. That could definitely be the story on this. What is bringing these two together? I mean, we see the High Priestess, so there's other forces at work here for sure. We have an Eight of Swords. We have a Five of Cups. You know what? These two have thought about reaching out to each other so many times. So many times. They have both thought of each other at the same moment throughout these years or months or weeks. And maybe they, her hands are tied and she has like orchids in front of her eyes. Like, I don't know where he is. He's over here kind of in silent mode, not communicating, but certainly thinking about her. We got a brick wall here that isn't really fully intact. So we know that these two have spent considerable time thinking about each other, but maybe they didn't want to reach out because each of them was like, I've known struggles and I wanted to reach out to them, but because I was embarrassed of what I was going through, I certainly didn't want to. But what's ironic is that they didn't know they were each going through a difficult time. If these two had probably reached out to each other when they were thinking about one another, they might have discovered that they were both enduring some real hardships. Maybe that's why these two have an uncanny connection, right? Soulmates work through similar things together sometimes, right? Soulmates tend to be, they're in the same classroom for a reason. If we think of soulmates like a school analogy, these are the, when we're whatever 6 years old and we're in kindergarten or 5 or 6, and then that's our little group, right? And then we move through all of our classes kind of year after year together, and we age and we grow up together. That's kind of the way to think about soulmates. They're kind of in the same like category of life lessons. So it would stand to reason that they both went through losses and problems kind of in a similar format. Of course, they're soulmates. Of course they would have. And it might even stand to reason why they thought of each other during similar timelines of different life events that were difficult. The same way, if we're all studying for a big exam, everybody in class, where everybody's at, they're at home studying because they know they got the test in the morning. It's kind of along those lines. So these two have been in each other's bracket for quite some time. Let me ask this. Why is it time for them now to be reunited, reconnected? And how is that happening too? That's the other thing. Queen of Pentacles, the Magician, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so both of them have reached a place, like I said, I thought a lot of the hardships were actually, they were coming through those hardships. And now they were like, okay, I can talk about them now. I went through ups and downs, jobs, careers, places to live, health issues, the whole 9 yards, but everything is leveling out now. And that's what we see for both of them. They both feel empowered now. And there's also something where, when you overcome stuff and you start to feel pretty heroic, you feel pretty good about your life. You feel like I've learned some stuff. I've gotten my things dialed in now. Okay, now I don't mind sharing the trials and tribulations I've been through because look, I made it through them. So they're both in a better place. And interestingly enough, that's where their minds turn back to each other again. And it's like, boy, I locked that person away somewhere for safekeeping, someplace special in my mind or in my heart. The Four of Pentacles doesn't have to be a bad card. Yes, it can be the hoarder's card, but if they've hoarded the memory of each other in this is, very much like a palace with very expensive stained glass windows, but they put a padlock on it. And it was like, I always locked you away for a rainy day. I feel like that's what these two have done. Like they always still cared about each other, but they kind of always knew I'd like to talk to that person again, but not when I'm a train wreck. I want to talk to them when things get good. It kind of seems like we're finally at that point. Seven of Pentacles. Yes, we still do have the Two of Swords here, but I don't know. This feels like in the next 7 days. I don't know if one is going to send a message. It might not get through initially. Maybe this is even, we're coming right up to Valentine's Day. Maybe this is one of those, even if they reach out to each other as friends, like, hey, blast from your past. Happy Valentine's Day, friend. I know it's been 20 years. Like, it could be something like that, where it's just, I'm going to blindly send this out. I don't even know if this is your email. I don't even know if this is your whatever social media profile. I don't know if you'll remember me. You probably won't, but I felt like reaching out. That's how that comes across. Is this for like a Valentine's Day or Temperance? I don't know. These two have this unique ability to constantly feel each other's energy, right? We keep getting cards that have the balance. We've got the infinity symbol, and then we've got, even though it's not the infinity symbol, it's the same thing. It's still balance, right? It's this undulating energy. It's the scales that are perpetually, the energy flows between them in the undulating energy. These two, it's just right. It's just the right time for them. It's not because it's Valentine's Day. It's not because it's anything other than their energy has always been matching each other, flowing in the same, like I said, they may as well have been in the same classrooms on the same campus their entire life, because they've been learning similar life lessons at similar paces. They've always been pretty well matched. And right now, this is the time of their life to come together. This is the time of their life to come into union. Okay. Really? We just got the Two of Cups. That's an amazing wrap up on this one. Look at this. Even their energy is like interwoven, and here they are meeting back in like the library, that campus or the library or something. These two, I'm just going to say, for this storyline, I definitely feel like they knew each other through some kind of academia, some kind of school, some kind of college, something like that. That gives us a timeline on how long they've known each other. But also the fact that I think these two hearts, they had to go off and learn other lessons and get through some stuff before their time to come together was going to, kind of arrive. But they have arrived. How sweet. How sweet is that? Ophiuchus tends to get some really awesome storylines. Once in a while, some tough ones, but for the most part, just really good ones. I loved this. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I know it's late, but still, I'm really honored you guys are here. AC, Danielle, Sweet Liberty, Dionysus, thank you again, honey. Slay Princess, so glad to see you, beauty. All right, everybody, have a beautiful evening. I'm still going to put out one for Sag right after this. I'll do that live. And then at midnight, I've got a today's topic video that'll break. That's for both the 8th and the 9th. Hi, Dolly. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Good to see you. All right, you guys, sweet dreams if this is where we part ways. Otherwise, I just might see some of you in the Sag video if you are still awake and interested. All right, bye, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.